Okay, in our next steps, what we're going to do is take a look at a couple of different ways to provide validation for our file. For example, maybe we want just files of a certain extension to be uploaded, or we want to make sure that the file name meets certain parameters. We can do that, but we have to work with files a little differently than we work with raw textual data. So go ahead and jump to your assets folder in your Drupal site, and let's open up the third step, which is called hook file validate. Go ahead and copy the entire code and paste it over the code that's currently in your assets.module file and save it. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at what's changed in this file. The only thing that we've added is this function down here called assets file validate. And what this is an implementation of a hook called hook file validate. This will be run every time this file save upload runs, though we can also trigger it in a couple other ways. But for now, let's take a look at what we have in this function. It's being passed a single variable, which is called file, and this contains the file object that's returned from this file save upload. We're beginning by initializing an error array. Just in case something goes wrong along the way, what we're going to do is store errors inside of this array and then return it as a completion for this validation function. If this array is empty, then it's considered a pass for the validation. If it has some items in it, that means that it's a fail. What our validation function is going to do is check to see if the file name matches the pattern test dot and then whatever extension. And we're using kind of a rough method here. If we were going to make this legitimate, we would flesh it out. But what we're using is strpos, the string position function in PHP, to check for the string test dot inside of the property of the file object called file name. And if it's true, then we want to go ahead and add an error, and the error is going to be the file name test is reserved. Please change the file name and try again. Okay, let's go ahead and make sure that this is saved and jump back to our browser and refresh the page. And let's go ahead and try to upload a test file. So I have a test.jpg here, and I'm going to go ahead and submit it. Sure enough, we get our error message. The specified file test.jpg could not be uploaded. Okay, so this is one example of performing a validation, but it's not very flexible. We're using the hook validate, so this hook validation is happening on every type of file. What would be better is if you could specify specific validation functions that should run on the file input. That way we can use those same functions for other file inputs and only use them for the file inputs that we want to use them for. It turns out that you can do that, so that's what we're going to take a look at next.